Sheets is currently dealing with a power outage in the Hamptons. You know, what can you do? You got a house in the Hamptons, power outage, and life is rough. What can you say? All right, so I've got a few takes on today's what's become a very small slate. I don't think you should get overly invested. I do think you don't need to fully stack, but you can, mini stack most of your teams. The teams I'm focusing on are Cleveland, and then followed by Cincinnati, Milwaukee, and Detroit, with a little bit of Padres and Nationals mixed in. That's basically what I'm doing. We're going to do a quick show today because it's just going to be me and you guys. So when you get in, say what's up, jump on in the chat, say any questions, any thoughts. I don't like Skubal as much as I did to start the day, but with Minnesota becoming Minnesota too. That was the other team I forgot about. With Minnesota becoming the heavy chalk, I do have some Minnesota mini stacks, but I don't have currently a full stack yet of Minnesota. And I think that's what I'm going to end up doing, and I'm going to end up using some Skubal, just where I'm at right now. So having said that, pitchers I'm using Skubal a little bit. Mostly it's going to be Molly, Scherzer, Darvish, and Eflin. But I also like, on the other side of that game, I do like the upside for Alzolay as well. So I'm going to get some of that going. And yeah, basically just trying to edit my lineups right now. Let me see if I can get this one down to 9 here. Well, that'll do for right now. I'll do this and then go for that. Perfect. Yeah, I think that trying to target just the popular Minnesota stack is the wrong way to go, personally. I think that regardless of likelihood of it coming out, it's just what everyone's going to do. And I'm trying to get away from that. I do like Cleveland a little bit better anyway. Minnesota's lineup is better than it was, so I don't mind. I obviously wouldn't mind the stack, but I'm obviously taking the pitcher a little bit, and I'm trying to get away from that much chalkiness as much as I can, and that's why I'm playing guys like Tatis, like Soto, like Trey Turner, and Escobar is the other minimum cost one that I'm willing to use. And hope he can, swipe a bag or something. He's a minimum cost guy that I don't need, but I do think that I kind of want to get involved in some of that. So that's where I'm at with that. Just editing a few lineups here, and we'll get to you guys in just a second. Jump on in the chat though and say what's up. I know it takes a minute, but I'll say it again. We just got the Pirates Mets postponed, which I figured was going to happen. Don't even need the Mrs. Sheets projection on that one. I think Sheets' power outage told us all we need to know. So we aren't playing any of those guys. I'm just going to read out like guys who I'm using at catcher on DraftKings. Tucker Barnhart, Ryan Jeffers as my main ones, Roberto Perez, and that would be mainly the 3 guys I'm using. First base, Votto, Cabrera, Santana, O'Hearn. Second base, Escobar, Hernandez are primarily taking up most of my second base spots. Shortstop, third base, Suarez, Ramirez are my main ones. I'm going to get some Josh Donaldson as well. Shortstop, Andrelton Simmons. If you're going to play him, play the bottom of the stack. But again, I'm doing only in a 4-man, and he's just because he's cheap. Where I'm paying up for Darvish and Scherzer. Tatis, Simmons. Those are my first looks at it. Outfield. Oh, sorry, Tatis, Simmons, Turner. Excuse me. Outfield, Soto, Cruz, Winker, Naquin, Harold Ramirez, Mercado, Yelich, O'Hearn I have out there, and where I'm using Santana at first. And those are my main things right now. So we're going to get off a half hour early so I can finish building my lineup. So make sure to get your questions in now. I'm going to turn my air on because it's gotten hot in here. Yeah, so that Blue Jays thing kind of made this slate. I was interested in taking pivots off of them anyway, so it's going to be a little bit frustrating to try and get different. That's why I'm doing everything I can to do so. Like, even though my day slate's a great example of it, I'll actually share my screen and just show you guys what's happening with the current thing, because I'm not winning it all. Our boy Rody might win it all. Let's just sweat it out with him. Let's see where I got my thing here. Looks like I'm sweating a cash. I'm going to share my screen in just a second, and let's do that. No, none of these seem right. I'll have DraftKings on its own window here in 1 second. But just to show you the point of trying to be different on these slates, and that was a 3-gamer. This is a 6-gamer, so it's a little less. But you see that Jed Lowry batting fourth was only 3.9% owned. That was one of the things I tried to do to get creative today. Matt Olson ended up a little higher than I would have initially thought. Laureano was my other guy. They didn't quite add on the way I was hoping to, so that was a little frustrating. And then I did use a little bit of chalk to go with them, but getting different in a few spots, and then obviously using Montez as my main pitcher at 9.8%. That's pretty. That worked out obviously really well. And even Montgomery has ended up working out well. So that was what I did on the early slate. And just to show you, we want to do something similar on this slate with our differentiation. And we do have 6 games instead of, oops, let me go to my live real quick. Hopefully you guys didn't see everything there. But it's Cincinnati, Milwaukee is who I'm stacking on FanDuel currently at the moment. But over here on FanDuel, I can show you what's already happening. But it looks like I'm probably looking on the outside looking in on the caching. I'm looking at like 7.3 points behind caching over here. Do have a little bit of time left as I did sort of mini stack the Yankees. Felt good about my process and everything, but the point is what we're trying to say is that to try and get different. And on this 3-gamer on FanDuel, I had a little bit more trouble with it. Everybody sort of ended up in the teens, but I did get the McCormick at 15%. You want to try and get these guys in the teens as much as possible. I ended up going a little more chalky than I initially thought it was going to be, and it didn't work out in my favor, as you can tell. And you want to just try to be, let's look at the leader right now. Let's see, there's going to be somebody, you have the 3% Jed Lowry. Jed Lowry currently, one of the best values in the state. Laureano, he had it 7% over here. So he basically had the same idea I did on DraftKings over here, but he mixed in the other guys from Colorado a little bit better, which obviously worked out better because they have 8 runs. So that's just what we want to try and do on tonight's slate. To give you guys an example, I didn't know if I shared all that, but let me just put it up there so I do. But yeah, you can see the leader right now with the Lowry and the Laureano, and that's all we're trying to do on these slates. We need to try and get different and try and get that difference to be right and take the best shots. To me, that would mean stolen bases and home runs against Darvish and home runs against Scherzer. That's what I'd be looking for on this slate. And that's what I'm trying to do. KC stack is going to be popular. I am going to avoid the popularity against Plesac, who I believe to be a decent pitcher. But I don't mind it at all. I do have some Dozier. I have some O'Hearn and Santana. But I'm just not I'm trying to stay away from the chalky stacks. And if I'm doing it, I'm certainly not full stacking them. I think that would just be a bad tournament play, bad way to play tournaments, unless you're playing a million lineups and you can mix it in with another completely unowned stack like San Diego or Washington. But yeah, KC, I'm just going to take a look at their projected ownerships right now. Let's see real quick. I didn't want to show the screen because it wasn't my site that I was looking at. I wanted to get some ownership projections. A little lower than I may have thought. Benintendi will be really popular. Play O'Hearn instead if you want to try and get something that's a little bit lower owned. I think that Salvador Perez is now going to be popular. I think that Hunter Dozier will be fairly popular at 2.6. I don't think you'll have as much ownership on Santana and O'Hearn. So I actually like playing those two together if you're going to play the stack. And that's the way I would go ahead and try and get the stack. Okay, so what else have we got here? I'm waiting to hopefully get sheets in there. Guys, again, drop in questions because I don't really have a lot more to talk about. I'm doing exactly what I posted on TrueDFS.com. I'm playing the same stacks that I said I'm playing. And I have, of course, some sprinkles of other guys who are not in my stacks written up on there. But I know it's not the most beautiful format, but it's literally just an Excel spreadsheet of exactly what I'm doing. So hopefully you guys can take a look at that on TrueDFS. It's under my plays of the day. I also did my 5 and 5 video, my favorite 5 plays of the day. Of course, it's changed a little bit with that Toronto game being out of the question. I had 2 players from there, Santander and Vlad on there. So you can go ahead and cross those guys out. But otherwise, I'm going to get out of here shortly unless there's any other questions or anything else to talk about in chat. We do want to sweat our guy Rody. Let's see if he's still at the top of the DraftKings leaderboard. And all right, he is. So let's give him a little sweat out here. You guys caught me on there the other day with Rody, so I'm going to share my screen again, and we'll leave that up while we talk about things right now. Let's see, share screen, And we will share DraftKings. So you can see Rhodey's here at the top. He had a similar idea to what I wanted to do today. He did get the Dom Nunez in there that I didn't have. He had the Tapia in there that I didn't have, obviously. He basically just did it with Colorado. Combo stack. I didn't think it was necessary for combo stack day, which is, again, Colorado went off. It's going to happen. It's a 3-game slate. I didn't want to play too much chalk, but he got away from it. He played the Lowry at second base. He played the Elvis Andrus, which was a really, really good play at shortstop, which I wish I would have gone with. And then he stacked without using the best hitter on the team in Trevor Story. So definitely some creativity from a really good player. Obviously used Montas as his pitcher. So good job on Rhodey. Hopefully he takes this one down. We'll count him as a true DFS. Just as he did a show with us, we're going to count him as an extension of Team True DFS. So good luck, Rhodey. Hope you take it down out there, man. I do like a Cincinnati stack. So I also like a Brewers stack. I do think this is going to be the unowned thing, and I need to try and get different, so that's what I'm doing. The NBA, who we like in, sounds good. Adam says, let's go. Solid night for us last night. Let's get it tonight. Let's go, man. It was almost a great night for me. I really think that there was a chance I could have won multiple 20K tournament pluses, and it just was frustrating at the end, disappointing. But it was a good night overall. I always take your triple ups in DFS. NBA, who we like in, it's nothing really to get too creative on an NBA, to be honest with you. I'm trying to force in some campaign, which is not like forcing in price-wise, but forcing him into my lineups because I believe that he has the kind of upside that we were looking for. Bryn Forbes, Torrey Craig together, as opposed to playing just one of them in a lineup like that, trying to fade Chris Paul and Booker mostly, playing more Ayton, 100% Ayton for me, I think, right now. Also, Giannis is my main captain. I think Middleton and Holiday make sense as captains as well. I do like Holiday to have a bounce-back game tonight, and I think that you could play all three, Holiday, Ayton, and Giannis in the same lineup and leave out maybe a Booker, and maybe you can get a little different that way. I do think they'll switch things up defensively. I'm not saying they'll shut Booker down by any means, but just keep that in mind. The best middling play I do have is Jay Crowder. I think Mikal Bridges has a decent shot at a game too, but Jay Crowder, Pat Connaughton at the slightly lower end, that's what I'm looking at over there. And then Bobby Portis is going to get some love, but I'll throw a shot or two at Bobby Portis, and maybe the game gets funky or something. That's basically all I got here. Not for Portis's argument, but for like trying to get like Cam Johnson at 6K, and people aren't going to do that. You can go ahead and take that swing. He looked great. If he plays, he's really good, man. He's talented, but it just feels like a hard button to click for me. But yeah, nothing too crazy over there. Yeah, so Adam, you came close as well last night. See, it's right there for us, man. It's right there. So Cincinnati, you want to generally get the lefties against Hauser. I'm struggling with Cincinnati a little bit because they're going to end up picking up some steam now, which I guess everyone is. But I love the idea of just playing the other side of it, or playing even both sides of it. It's not a whole lot for us to choose from. I'm writing out the Cubs and Philly game. I just think that there's no reason to do that in that weather. So I actually just find myself naturally pivoting over here to Cincinnati and Milwaukee, and I don't think that whole game is going to be quite as owned as the other spots that we have out there now as well. My projection systems is not uploading. I don't think it's a product of my camera though. I think that's just happening. Philly stack, no, I think that Philly would be one of the worst stacks on the slate, maybe the worst stack on the slate. The wind blowing in Chicago, you're just asking for trouble. It might work out once in 1 out of 100 times maybe, and even then, that's not good. I'm not touching one bat from Philly or Chicago today. That's just the way that I'm building. I don't like messing with that. Look at their run totals, and there's a reason that weather has really crept everything down. So, yeah, I can't do it for me. Got another few minutes if you guys want to keep talking. Hopefully our boy Rhodey is still holding up over there. I'll take a quick look and see if he is. Hopefully I'm holding up at least for my cashes. Geez, earlier it looked I was in the top 5 for everything for a while, and it looked like I was going to have a nice day, but no such luck. with the afternoon games. I did not play enough Colorado, which is weird because I did say I liked them, but yeah, didn't get that right. And the Yankees have really disappointed against the guy who I didn't play. And I mean, again, I played the two best pitchers, but so I can't really complain. But it's tough, you know. It's not the way I would have drawn it up, obviously. All right, I think that's pretty much it. Unless we have questions. Let's see. Yeah, so Philly, no. Chicago, no. And I think that's pretty much all we got for today. It's a pretty ugly little slate. Hopefully we can run good and make some bold plays. Make some bold plays if you want to have any chance tonight, because this is going to be, as they say in that movie, The Campaign, that I love Zach Galifianakis in that. It's a mess. It really is a mess. So I can't even get updated projections, for crying out loud. That's pretty ridiculous. So we will see what's going on. I don't think there's anything else to worry about. We talk about weather, extreme umpire data. I actually have to get my sheet uploaded, but most of it's out of play though for tonight. Not going to affect us too much. And you just go ahead and play San Diego too. That's another thing. No, I have no interest in the Philly or the Cubs. I hate the Philly. Oh, Phillies pitcher and Cubs? No, I don't understand. No, I would not play the Phillies pitcher and the Cubs. That definitely wouldn't do that. That would be a big mistake. Yeah. Any other questions, guys, before we get out of here? I'm happy to talk it through, but I'm going to just be repeating myself. I named all my players at every position as of right now, and it's probably going to stay pretty much the same because that's baseball. It's not like we get late news too often. Rank the pitchers on DK. For me, I have Scherzer. I have so Scherzer and Molly make the most sense, and Darvish would be next. But again, I'm going to try and get some Skubal. So I think Scherzer, Darvish, Molly actually would be my ranking. But then I would go Eflin, then Alzolay, then Skubal. But I like Skubal to leverage off the Minnesota stack, so I'm going to end up using probably more of him than I am. Well, it'll be close between he and Alzolay for me, but I do like a Molly Eflin combo. But again, you're going to get pretty popular on that today as well. So that's where we're at, fellas. Yeah, SP 1 and 2. That is what I'm talking about. I'm playing. No, I don't know what you're talking about, David. What do you mean? I just can't understand that. Let me know what you're talking about. I'm happy to address it. SP 1 and 2 are you can play Darvish and Scherzer together, no problem. Or you can play Darvish. You could the common one, the cash game one, is going to be Molly and Scherzer, and then Darvish, and then Eflin. I think will be the most popular. Those are in that order. And that's pretty much the way I would rank it in terms of who I expect to have the best outing. I like the upside of Skubal and Alzolay and the ownership. So that's where I'm at on those guys. All right, guys. Good luck to everybody out there. It sounds like it's going to be kind of a boring slate, but hopefully we can run good and take something down. Good luck, y'all. I'm still trying to, I was going to get out of here, but I'm trying to understand what David's talking about. Ali, I don't know who that is. Who? Oh, Alzolay and Eflin. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, that's totally fine to do. Yeah, you can definitely play them together. That's just not. I have one build like that. Most of them I have with other pitchers, but I do think they're fine together. To answer that question, sorry, David, I didn't understand. But yeah, that makes perfect sense. Alzolay and yeah, I like Alzolay a little bit. I think that he's going to get the lower percentage of the ownership, and for good reason with this way the Cubs lineup shaking out. But does have some good stuff, and I believe in the guy's overall talent level. I actually had a friendly bet with a Cubs fan that he wasn't going to make the roster, which I don't really know why he thought that, but he certainly did, and he's pitched up and down. But he's got enough stuff to where I'm happy to use him in this kind of pitching environment. So good luck to everybody out there. For Sheets, who's not here, I'm Bobby saying, hey, thanks for keep checking out all the new stuff we're adding to the site and give us your feedback in Discord. Or, I mean, that's the easiest place, but we want to try and make it as easy for you guys to use as possible. We are working with some sites that are going to help us We're going to be able to use the popular sites optimizers and stuff soon. It's just all going to take some time. But for right now, you're getting all of the information of exactly what we're doing. And it's obviously been working because I think we had a streak of 6 weekdays in a row because I didn't play on the weekends, but where somebody profited at least 10K from our site. With the amounts that we're playing, because we're not playing, 10K and plus a night, to profit 10K that often is pretty great. So we've been rolling, guys, and let's keep it rolling together. Team True DFS, we're out of here. Good luck, everybody.